So I have half a cup of butter here that I brought to room temperature, and I have 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Then we're just gonna use a hand blender and whisk it until they cream together. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 eggs that I just beat, and I'm going to mix these together. Okay, seems good. Remember to use a rubber spatula and kind of just take down the sides so everything gets incorporated. Now for the dry ingredients, I have 2 cups of flour. I have half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of baking soda. I also have 1 heaping teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a pinch of allspice. And I'm just going to use a whisk and combine these together. I'm going to use 3 ripe bananas. The more brown they are, the sweeter they're going to be. So I'm going to start peeling them and then mushing them with a fork. See, look how like sweetened they are. The peel just comes right off. And it's also better to peel the bananas from the back so you don't get any of the little strings that are associated with it. And you get this should amount to about a cup, if not a little bit more, which is totally fine. You'll get more of the pronounced banana flavor the more ripe they are. Now you can use a fork to mash them up. To this mushed banana mixture, I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of buttermilk. I'm going to just whisk that well. Now to the butter, sugar, egg mixture, I'm just going to add about half a cup of our dry mixture and then beat it together on low. Now I'm going to add about half a cup of our banana milk mixture. And I'm just going to use a rubber spatula and kind of fold it in, just so we're not over mixing the batter. This part's totally optional. If you like nuts, you can add nuts. I have 3/4 of a cup of chopped pecans. Now I just sprayed the bottom of a bread loaf pan with some oil, with some Pam, and now I'm just going to add a parchment paper. This part is totally optional. I just want to put it so it's easier to just lift the bread out and to make sure it doesn't get stuck on the bottom. So I'm just going to spread that, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I'm just going to pour the batter into the pan. I'm going to add a crumb topping on top of the banana. I have half a cup of melted butter that I just brought to room temperature, and I have 3/4 cup of flour, half a cup of brown sugar, and 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. First I'm going to just whisk this together. Pour and kind of just like fluff it up so it becomes crumbs. I'm going to bake it at 350 degrees, and then I'll check with a toothpick. If it's clean in the middle, then it's done. So it ended up taking about an hour to cook fully. Remove the parchment paper, and I'm just going to sprinkle some powdered sugar on the top.